Hey guys, a very good evening to all of you. This is Yogendra from Forsk. Guys, can you please confirm me if my audio is clear to you and screen is visible? So guys, you can use the chat window to give me a confirmation regarding the audio and video, guys. So please confirm me. Okay, so Mr. Rana saying yes, clear voice. Sham Sukha saying it's perfect. Okay, thank you. James Warrior saying yes. Okay, good. Thank you. So I think audio and video is all clear with everybody, right? So guys, all settled. Can we start now? Although we are starting by late by 5 minutes, so that people can come and join and get settled. So guys, can you please confirm me if we can start? Okay, so Vaishnavi Natarajan saying yes. Raman Ekta saying let's do it. Okay, yeah. So guys, first of all, it's my request to everybody sitting in this room and joining us for this webinar that guys, it would be a interactive webinar, right? So whenever there is a request coming into you regarding give me a confirmation or asking something, please do so guys, so that it becomes interactive, you feel also engaged, right? And that way I think we will have a more kind of an interaction, more takeaway at end of the session, guys. So it's a request from my side that please reply whenever there is a request coming in from the host side, guys. Okay, now guys, before I start, okay, let me explain what is the format of this program. Okay, as you can see on the screen, this program is basically a webinar and a workshop. Webinar is for today. Okay, webinar is for today. And then next 2 days, we have a workshop. Okay, obviously, theme is around data science only. Theme is around data science only. But today, we talk about the career outlook for data scientists, technical skills required to become data scientist, what are the opportunities available particularly in India, because that is the second largest data scientist hub in the world, guys. So we are going to talk about in that reference what are the opportunities available, what is the future, how come this is the most demanding sector as of now in the world. Okay, so we'll talk about all these things during this webinar, guys, today. Then in the next 2 days, okay, we talk about a case study that we recently completed, okay, for a client, that how come it was a data science problem for us and how come we approached, what was the design solution for that, right? What was the system design for that? What was the workflow for that? What were the different technologies we used? What was the technical stack for that? How come it was finally put into the production? That is something we are going to talk about in the next 2 days. And as you already know, if you join all these 3 days, you are going to get a free certificate, guys. You are going to get a free certificate once you join the workshop. So I hope the agenda is very clear with all the participants that today we are going to talk about, right, the the data science world, the career outlook, what are the jobs available, what are the different positions available, what are the opportunities for freshers, what are the opportunities for working professionals, right? So we are going to talk about so many things in today's webinar that you will really get an idea or a feel that that what exactly the situation on the ground is when you talk about the data science. And in the next 2 days we have this workshop which could be more on the practical side, on the design side, understanding the problem statement, designing the solution for it, okay, defining the technical a technology stack for it. So many things would come in the coming workshop, guys. So I hope this is clear with also, guys. Can you please give me a confirmation? Is the theme clear with all of you? Please. So Sham, Shukha, Hiral Patel, Natarajan, Raman, Hari Prasad. A lot of people giving me a confirmation. So Sham Sukha, I was kind of pronouncing this name, and then says my name is Titiksha, if I'm right in the pronunciation. Okay, Titiksha. Okay, fine, good. So guys, before I start, I have guys, I have a couple of questions for you. Okay, fine, Titiksha. Thank you. So guys, I have a couple of questions for you. Okay, guys, one more thing. At end of the webinar, when I close, I will open up for the question answers, guys. So whatever questions you have in your mind, I would try my best to answer all of those questions. When I'm done from my side, it would be an open, question answer session. Everybody, right, who has any kind of a question, technical, non-technical, anything related to this a theme or domain, guys, we would try to answer your question. Okay, now guys, before I proceed, I have a couple of questions for you. Okay, how many of you, around 85, 87 people are there in this room? Okay, how many of you are working professional? How many of you are working professional? Just say yes if you are a working professional. No need to answer if you are not. If you are working professional, then only say yes on the chat window, please. So Raman saying yes. Guys, I'm waiting for your reply. How many of you, right? Just say yes if you are a working professional. That's it. Okay. Okay, now the second question coming, guys. How many of you are a kind of a fresher, studying in university or college, or looking for a job for the first time, looking for an entry-level job? So how many of you guys are like kind of students or freshers? Just say yes, like. So Titiksha saying I'm a student, Vimal says I'm a student, Vaishnavi says, Hiral Patel says, James Warrior says I'm 7th semester BTech, Akash Kumar says I'm a student. Okay, HP, please rename yourself so I can get to know your correct name. Hari Prasad says final year student. Okay, a lot of people. Okay, Thank you, guys. One more question, final question from my side, guys. Pavan says I'm a BTech third year student. Thank you. So, guys, one more question, which would be the last question from my side, guys. How many of you are from outside India? Okay, so just say yes if you are a non-Indian, a resident. So Raman says I'm from outside India. Okay, Muhammad. So Raman is from Iran. Okay. Amnan Rana is from Pakistan. Velia Rahmadi is from Indonesia. Okay. Welcome, guys. Any other who is a kind of outside India? Okay, thank you, guys. So a couple of people are from outside India as well. We usually get people from Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Germany, Latin countries, Middle East. A lot of people come in various events that we do from time to time. So now, guys, let's get it started on that. So, guys, to start with, right, as the okay, Bernard Kiraha is from Kenya. Okay, thank you, Bernard. Bernard, okay, I'm sorry. Bernard, thank you. So, guys, the title of the webinar is Career Outlook. Just a minute, guys. Okay. So let me write that. Career outlook. That is one thing we are going to talk about for data science people. And then, one more focus we will put on the job readiness for this domain, guys. Okay. Job readiness. So, guys, the demand for data scientists is at an all-time high in the world. And if I talk about in India, there is a too much demand for data scientists, right? And that's why, because there is a demand, it is resulting in an upward career and generous pay from the companies, guys. So demand for the data scientist across the globe is on the rise, guys. It's all-time high as of now. That is the starting point. Now, guys, before I talk about further regarding these things, okay, the webinar that you are attending is from Forsk. That most of the people, you guys know about that, right? It is from the Forsk. Now, guys, Forsk is an Indian company, and it's a startup. Basically, it was started in 2015. Okay, and we are primarily into consulting and development of data science projects, AI projects, machine learning projects, analytics projects. And along with that, we have an academy as well. Okay. And particularly in that academy, we focus on, a kind of reskilling, upskilling programs, for various class and segments. So that is Forsk. Now, guys, if you want to have a more, kind of details regarding the founders of this company, Forsk, me, Yogendra, and Dr. Sylvester, we founded this company in 2015, summer of 2015. So if you want to get more details, so we have a LinkedIn profile available. So, guys, there you can go and, have a look there, guys. So I'm just sharing the LinkedIn profiles in case you want to get connect, you can. Okay, that is there. Now, guys, before we get more details around data science career and tech part of it, let me give that data science, okay, what the data science is. So guys, data science provides valuable insights into customer behavior that can lead to increased conversions, more detailed marketing analysis for competitive advantage, so that we can play around pricing strategies or product development, improved operational efficiency, and minimized risk exposure through accurate forecasting models. Guys, this is how you look at the data science. Okay, so what exactly you do if you are into a data science domain? What would be your primary role and responsibility? You have to deal with the data. That is the first condition, guys. If you are a data scientist, if you are a data analyst, if you're a machine learning engineer, if you're an AI engineer, you have to play with the data, and that data can be too large sometimes. Okay, and if you have a data, right, and you are solving a business problem, so obviously you have to use that data to get the insights, right? Insights around customer behavior, insights around marketing analysis, insights around pricing strategies, insights around operational efficiencies, insights that how come you can minimize the risk. So guys, that would be the primary stuff if you are into a data science domain. Okay, now guys, before I talk further around data science and other things, let me define a couple of things for you, because a couple of people may not be into data science. Okay, they are trying to get into this domain. Okay, but I think it's good that we should spend 5 minutes around this and understand a couple of things, a couple of terms and terminologies in particular. So guys, when people talk about data science, okay, simple one-liner definition is that anything around data, right? Anything that you do around data is data science. Now guys, when people are in data science, you must have heard about these terms: AI, which is artificial intelligence, okay, ML, which is machine learning, then DL, which is deep learning, okay, and then there is one more term, analytics. Okay, that is there. Now guys, let me define these terms for you so that you have a better understanding of the discussion that we are going to do today. Guys, what the AI is. Do you have any idea, guys? Would you like to try and answer this question? What the AI is? Do you have any understanding regarding this term, the artificial intelligence? Guys, would you like to answer that? What do you say, guys? So Muhammad Amir is saying about robots. Pavan is saying man-made thinking power. Okay. Vaishnavi saying artificial intelligence is man-made. Okay. A lot of people. Velia Rahmadi is saying AI is automated process. Good. A lot of people are trying to answer that. That's good. Guys, okay, Hari Prakash is saying machine making decisions like human. Very good. Sachin saying work done by machines to replace humans. Okay. Pavan says machine thinking like human and beyond human intelligence. Good. Guys, thank you. Guys, let me define AI. Guys, any machine And when I say machine, guys, it's a software system or a hardware system. Okay, guys, any machine which behaves like human is a AI machine, guys. Okay, any machine, okay, any machine which behaves like human is AI machine. Behaves like human is you know AI machine. Now, as a human, guys, okay, as a human, we do hundreds of activities from morning to evening, depending on time, depending on context, depending on knowledge we have, right? So we do hundreds of activities, right? But this machine would be doing particularly one or two activities like human, right? So it's not a general replica of the complete human behavior, but this machine would be doing only one or two things or two activities as humans do. And that's why we call this AI as narrow AI, because it's not general AI, right? It's not general AI, it's a narrow AI, right? To make it a general AI, you have to completely replicate the human behavior in each and every sense. But that is not the case as of now. Okay, and that's why I call this as a narrow AI. So, guys, AI is any machine which behaves like human is an AI machine. Now, guys, question comes that how come you can make your machine as an AI machine? That should be your next question. That if that is the case, that is how you define the AI. Now, question comes that how come we can make our machine as an AI machine? How come we can enable our machine as an AI machine? Guys, to enable your machine as a AI machine, you have to use an approach which is the most prevalent approach as of now in the world, guys, and that approach is machine learning. Right, guys? So machine learning is a method, it's a strategy to achieve AI. How come you can enable your machine as an AI machine? Using machine learning techniques, you can do that. Okay, now, guys, within the machine learning space, if you are using a particular computer architecture to process the information, to process the data, and that particular architecture is known as neural network, guys. NN stands for neural network. So within machine learning, if you are using neural networks to process the data, to process the information, then machine learning has a specific name, and that specific name is known as deep learning. Right, guys? So if you draw a kind of a Venn diagram, so guys, this is your AI world. Okay, the most prevalent way to enable a machine as an AI machine is ML. But as you can see in diagram, guys, ML is not the only way to achieve AI. There can be other ways as well, but as of now, because of the computation power we have, because of the storage capacity we have right now, right? That's why machine learning techniques, which is based on mathematical computing, so machine learning technique is the most prevalent way to achieve AI. And within machine learning, if you are using neural networks to process the data, then it becomes deep learning. So, guys, can you please give me a confirmation that now, guys, because in a lot of the literatures, articles, blogs, discussions, these three terms are interchangeably used. But I think now you have a better understanding that what exactly the AI, ML, and DL. So ML and DLs are techniques, right, to achieve AI, to enable your machine as an AI machine. So are you guys clear now on that front? Please let me know. Titiksha says yes. Vaibhav Thakur is saying yes. Akash Abuz saying yes. Rana Amnan from Pakistan saying yes. Akash Kumar saying yes. Vaishnavi saying yes. Afroz saying yes. Muhammad Amir is saying yes. Ramin from Iran says crystal clear. Sachin saying yes, sir. Akdus Merchant I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. Saying yes, Pavan saying yes, Valia Rahmadi saying yes. Okay. Uh, so, Titiksha, deep learning is a specific section of machine learning only, although all dependent on mathematics and all. But a neural network is an architecture in computer science world, and in that architecture, the information is processed the way our brain actually processes the data, right? So our brain has neurons, right? And when billions of neurons come together, they process the data, and that information goes from one block to another block in our brain, almost on the similar pattern the neural network has been defined in computer science. Okay. And they process the data, and that concept, when the neural network is being used to to implement the AI or to achieve the AI, that concept is known as deep learning. Hari, I'll talk about that question a little later. Okay, so please keep it with you. I'll answer that later on. Okay. So Hiral Patel says yes, sir. Okay. Now, guys, what is interesting to know, the emergence of technologies like IoT, guys, emergence of technologies like IoT, which is Internet of Things. So, guys, IoT or Internet of Things is kind of a technique where, we have a sensor and a network of sensors to collect some data, okay, or, to collect the information. That network is basically called as IoT. So IoT is one of the a kind of a platform or a technique to collect the data. So again, this is going to lead, us into a data science world only, because IoT is all about sensors, reading the data from the sensors. So again, you are collecting the data. Again, you are kind of storing a data somewhere, right? So again, you will need to analyze that, right? Perform analysis on that. So again, it's a data science. So guys, IoT or social media platforms, guys, social media platforms, or blockchain or quantum computing, all of these are basically putting data science into a central role, guys. Okay. IoT, social media because social media platforms are generating so much of our data every day, every seconds, guys. Likes, comments, share. So many things are happening on the social media platform. This is generating a humongous amount of data, guys, and that data needs to be analyzed. These social media companies analyze that data, that Facebook, the Instagram, right? The YouTube, right? All of these companies, on the Netflix, what people are watching, what people are liking, right? What is the trend, right? What are the kind of sentiments about a certain show, okay, or certain movie or certain drama? All of that analytics has to be performed to make their customer experience better, right? To keep the audience engaged, right? All of that happens through data science activities, guys, data analytics activities, guys. So these IoT, social media platforms, blockchain, quantum computing, or any other stuff that is generating a data for you, right, has put a data science domain into a central role, guys. And that's why every organization, right, is now heavily dependent on data science teams, and that data science team will have data analysts, right, machine learning engineers, data engineers, right, business intelligence engineers. There kind be there might be a couple of names, but all of them are playing with the data, that is for sure. You may have a different title or different role, but everybody is playing with the data, that is for sure. Okay. Now, guys, because there is a high demand in this sector, okay, that's why there is a high salary growth in data science and machine learning domain, guys. Because as organizations are turning towards machine learning, towards big data, towards AI, the demand for data science role is kind of getting an accelerated surge, guys. There is accelerated surge. There is a high demand. Okay. If we talk about certain numbers in this domain, merchant, the NN stands for neural network. NN stands for neural network. Okay. So guys, let's talk about some numbers that will give you a more confidence that why we are talking so much around data science. Since 2012, the data science sector has witnessed a massive hike of 650%. Guys, this sector since 2012, the data science sector has witnessed a massive hike of 650%, far outpacing other sectors, guys. So whether it's a technical company, whether it's a non-technical company, we work with a lot of companies for consultation business, guys, and a lot of our clients are non-tech companies. Some companies working in gems and jewelry domain, some company is working in textile, some companies working in automotive sector. All of these companies are also using or setting up their AI teams, guys, and we help them and their setup. Okay, so that is there. Now, guys, in India, there is a particular interesting number to know. The average salary of a data scientist in India is 10 lakh per year. The average salary. I'm talking about these numbers are India specific, guys, but other people outside India can also get an idea around this. So, guys, the average salary of a data scientist in India is 10 lakh per year, where the average salary of a software engineer, okay, in India is around 5.4 L. So if you are a non-data scientist role, guys, okay, then the average salary of the software engineer with the same experience, if you say, is 5.4 L. And the average number I'm talking about, the average salary for data scientist is 10 L. Okay. So guys, obviously, if that is the case, if numbers are like telling you, then guys, transitioning to data science is a smart move, as it is going to fetch far higher comparative returns for you guys. You are a fresher, you are in the colleges, you are preparing for the placements. Let's say you are passed out, looking for a job, you are a working professional. Doesn't matter, at any stage of your career, you can prepare for this role, guys. You can prepare for this role. Okay. Now there is a popular recruitment firm, Michael Page. Okay. So according to recruitment firm Michael Page 2021 India Talent Trends report, every year they publish that report, guys, and the name of that recruitment agency is Michael Page. Okay, that's the name. So according to their 2021 India Talent Trends report, guys, data science professionals with 3 to 10 years of experience get annual salaries in the range of 25 to 65 lakh range. Okay, I'll write these numbers over the screen so you can have a better idea, guys. Okay, so as per 2021 recent report by Michael Page, guys, if the data science experience is from 3 to 10 years, guys, okay, 3 to 10 years, the annual salary is from 25 to 65 lakh. I'm talking about Indian rupees, guys. Okay. And if you have a more experience, obviously, it can go, there is no limit. If you are a fresher, okay, if you are a fresher, so when I say fresher, like having experience of less than 1 year, okay, you are still into a job or just getting into a you're just completing just 3, 4, 6 months, right? So if you are a fresher having experience of 0 years or less than 1 year, guys, this number can vary from 3 lakh to 7 lakh. That is the range, guys. Okay, so let me talk about, there is a company, big company in India with the name TCS. Okay, so I was recently talking to uh, kind of a one of, a person uh, who recently cleared the TCS digital, kind of a profile. Okay, so TCS digital, he was selected for data science role, and TCS was offering around 7 to 8 lakh, you know, as a package, and that guy was purely a fresher guy, just graduating as a BTech computer science IT guy. Okay, and then he appeared for TCS digital profile, and then that was his kind of a package. Now, guys, that is the kind of a salary package, salary numbers. Okay, what about the growth? What about the growth? So, guys, the average annual pay hike for a data science professional, the average annual pay hike. Now, guys, I'm talking about the hike. Okay, so annual pay hike for data science professional is between 20% to 30%, guys. Compared, okay, let me do a comparison as well. Compared to 15 to 20%. Okay, 15 to 20% for professionals from other backgrounds. So if you are into a data science background, that is a kind of a salary hike I'm talking about, that if you stay within the same company, guys. Okay, obviously hike is that only. If you switch the company, then these numbers might be different. It can be, up to 100% as well, right? We have seen those cases as well, guys. Okay, that it can be more than 100%, sometimes. So if you stay in the same company and then there is appraisal, there is a hike. Okay, annual hike I'm talking about. Okay, now there is a question coming up from Muhammad Amir. Muhammad Amir is saying, I take BCA, can I join TCS company? Yes, there is a separate hiring for BCA BSc people by TCS in India, Muhammad. Okay, generally they do the separate hiring for BCA BSc people, but definitely there is a opportunity available within the TCS. Now, guys, if I talk about certain sectors which are right, Karan is saying that which country apart from India has a requirement for data scientists. So as I said, Karan, right, in terms of data scientist openings, India is probably the second largest. But other than India, the US, the European countries, right, Canada, the Australia, Japan, okay, Singapore, these are the countries where, even Middle East, right, Dubai, Saudi, these are the places where there is a high demand, because Middle East is a kind of a central hub for banking. Almost entire world, world's banking happens through the Middle East, right? So there is a high demand for people there as well in the Middle East. Karan, okay. Now, guys, as I said, that every business and industry is nowadays using data science, AI, and ML. Let me talk about particular domains where there is a high demand. So, guys, the sector, the first sector there is a high demand is a telecom domain. Okay. Yeah, Anju. So Anju is saying that I'm a BTech in AI and data science. I will become a data scientist. Yes, but to get better opportunities, Anju, work on the projects. If you are into a BTech of AI and data science, nobody is going to, kind of giving attention to your degree. They will give attention to what projects you have done. What is your GitHub profile? Okay, that would be more important than your degree. What CGPA or what percentage you have. I think the recruiter nowadays focus more on what practical aspect of this domain you have achieved, right? So what are your projects? So please focus on those things. You must have 4 or 5 projects at end of your BTech. So in your final year, right, you should have at least 4 or 5 projects related to this domain. Then I think you would be in a better position to negotiate the salaries. Okay, take a decision which company to join. Otherwise, you will have to make the compromises, even if you have a AI and data science degree. Anju, not to demoralize you, but just to kind of aware you. Okay. So guys, I was talking about telecom domain. So guys, in telecom domain, predictive maintenance, right? Lifetime of a customer, prediction, financial services, banking and all that, right? Investment and all that. Financial services sector is also using, data science. Healthcare, okay? Detection and diagnosis, treatment, recommendation, discovery of the new drugs, right? Healthcare is also one of the domain, guys. Education, content analytics, performance of the students, right? Learning analytics. Education is also one of the domain for that. Travel industry as of now is under heavy pressure because of the corona or pandemic, okay? But dynamic pricing, prediction system, user experience management, fraud detection, these things which are normally done by data science people if they are working in travel domain, guys. Okay. Then retail. Okay. So in India, like you have DMart, or in US you have a Walmart, right? You have Reliance stores, right? So in the retail, guys, price optimization, supply chain planning, optimize route planning for the deliveries, right? These are the things. Any e-commerce as well, right? Customer reviews dashboard, right? How customers are finding a certain product, what they are writing, right? So all of the places, there is a need for the data science people nowadays. Okay, so retail and then e-commerce, guys. So Titiksha Sham Sukha is saying that I am a third year student. I am so scared of the placements. I literally feel like I have to start from scratch. Do you think I have enough time now to crack a good package? If you make a commitment now, still you have 1 year, Titiksha. Okay. So just prepare yourself, and the time to come, I will guide you around that part as well, that how come you can prepare for that. Even if you start from the scratch, if you spend a good time every day or every week, you give a serious time commitment, okay, then definitely you can make it. Definitely you can make it. No doubt around it. Okay. That is there. But obviously it requires efforts, Now, guys, increasing demand for data science professionals, right? Basically, increasing demand for data science professionals. India Incorporation, the companies in India are witnessing the rapid digitization of businesses and services, making it the second largest hub for data science in the world. And during the pandemic, this demand has, kind of increased, guys. Because of the corona and pandemic, the demand has not come down. Almost every company, every business is now thinking about the digitization, okay, that how come they can reduce the manual processes, okay, and because of that, the IT sector is seeing a boom, and particularly in the data science domain, guys. Okay, now analytics is analysts who are working on closely monitoring this domain, guys. They are predicting that the India will have more than 11 million job openings in data science role I'm talking about, guys. Okay, India, will see the 11 million job openings by 2026. That is their prediction, guys. In fact, if you talk about the recent, in fact, since 2019, hiring in the data science industry has increased by 46%, guys. Since 2019, hiring in this domain has increased by 46%. So you can clearly see, why there is a demand of the people. Now, guys, Mohammed Amir is saying that I'm a BCA student. Can I become a data scientist? So if you are a fresher, Mohammed, as you said, you are a BCA, you can get into a data analyst domain, okay, where you have a data, you analyze that data, right? uh, Data scientist has a domain knowledge as well, so somebody only becomes data scientist if they have a domain knowledge. Like, let's say they know how the insurance sector works, they know how the education sector works, they know how the healthcare works, they know how the supply chain works, right? A lot of things, so they have the knowledge of that domain as well. Okay, and as a fresher you will not have that domain, so you start working as a data analyst or BI engineer, business intelligence, okay, or business analyst. Sometimes you may have different names, but the role is same. Okay, and as you get more experience, right, you start understanding the things while working on the client project, then you become the data scientist. Okay, and to get into a better position, Mohammed, I think it's good to go for master's degree and take something around data science. That would be the case. Merchant, I'll just hold on this question with you. I'll answer that. Okay, Akash, I'll take these questions. Just hold with you, and then we'll talk about these things as well. Okay, yeah, guys. See the hiring trend as well. Just we are talking about the career outlook, so we have to see the things from all the directions, guys. Now see an interesting analysis that we have recently come to know, guys, that while time taken, and guys, from this statement you can very well infer that why there is a demand of the people. See, guys, this is statement, find this statement, guys. The time taken to hire engineers in India is 6 to 8 weeks. That is the general time, guys, right? Time to hire engineers in India. But at the same time, guys, time to hire data scientists is 11 to 12 weeks. So you can see the comparison. Why? The reason behind, because there is a vast supply gap. Okay, there is a gap between the supply and the demand. There is a gap. Okay, and that's why it results into long hiring times. Why there is a gap? There are so many engineers in India only, right? Why there is a gap? Because the kind of people who are applying for the job, they are not that skilled what the company requires. Can you see, guys? This is the demand side world and this is the supply side world. Okay, but what people mention in their resume does not reflect when they talk to the interviewer. They say, I know Python. They say, I know R. They say, I have done this project. They say, I have done this, right? But when recruiter or the technical interviewer asks the question, they are not able to answer, right? Probably they have copied the projects from somewhere, right? Probably they have worked in a team where they did not contribute anything regarding that development. And that's why, the time is there. Okay. And, so you need a serious time commitment to improve your skills, guys, if you want to get into this domain, right? Now, even though there is a huge influx of data scientists, data analysts in India every year, very few people have the required kind of skills or expertise, right? And as a result, you know the demand is never met, guys. Demand is never met. Okay. And that's why you need to make sure that if you want to get into this domain, guys, you have to have the strong skills. You have to have a strong project portfolio over the GitHub, right? And that's why, guys, there is an importance of the upskilling. If you are a graduate, you are studying in the college, this is the right time to start working on the projects, guys. Start with a project, right, which is simple to solve. And then as you get more experience, right, you can take more complex problems, guys. Start getting into a practice of writing a code every day, guys. That is the case. Make a group, make a club in your college or university, guys, where you can interact every week, every month, right? And see that how come you can prepare yourself, how come you can make yourself a better commodity. If you are a working professional, okay, along with the job, you need to put extra hours to prepare for this, guys. If you're a working professional, if you are looking for a job, you have passed out, you have enough and ample time to prepare yourself as compared to the others. So you should plan for a window of 3 to 4 months to achieve that. Others can for others it can vary, but if you are in the need of a job, right, and if you want to get into this domain, guys, okay, just make a plan of 3 to 4 months. Okay. Now, guys, there was a question that what are the technical skills required to get into this domain? What are the technical skills required? Okay. So, guys, now I'm going to list those technical skills, guys. Okay. That what language you should be knowing. Okay. What packages, what tool, what libraries, what frameworks, right? That is there. Raj, I will answer this question a little later. Let me complete first, then I think other people will also like to hear what you are asking for. Okay. Yeah. So, guys, in terms of technical skills, first, it's good that you know how to write code in Python. So, guys, Python is the most popular programming language among data scientists in the world, guys. In this domain, Python is the #1 programming language to pick up. There are other languages as well, like R. Okay. But Python is more general programming language as compared to R. Is only specific to data analytics and visualization. But Python can be used for web development as well, right? For testing automation as well. Okay. For automation activities as well. For data science projects. So Python is more general in nature, guys. Okay. R is very specific. So I would recommend to go with Python, guys. And if you are if you already know some other language, guys, moving to Python or to any other language becomes easy. If you already know how to write code in some other programming language, let's say Java or some other language, switching to another language is always easy, guys. Okay. And if you are a beginner, you have no idea regarding any programming language, I think in that case, Python is the best language to start with. Okay, best language to start with. Now, guys, other than this, right? Yeah, Akash, good. Guys, other than this, you must be knowing a couple of frameworks and libraries and packages if you want to work in a data science project. So popular library is Pandas. So, guys, Pandas is the most popular framework to perform data analytics. Okay. Similarly, guys, libraries like Matplotlib, okay, or Seaborn or Boca, right? These are the libraries for visualization, guys. What do you mean by visualization, guys? Showing your data in a graphical format. right? Showing your data in a graphical format, is known as visualization. So for that purpose, matplotlib or yellow bricks, guys, there is a popular library coming up. It will pick up very, very quick in coming future. Yellow bricks, a very, very, beautifully designed, very powerful library, guys. Okay, you can have a look over the Google. So in couple of projects we have used that yellow bricks. So guys, that is there. Okay, now for mathematical operations, because you are playing with the data, right? So uh, to transform your data from one format to another format, I'll take that question a little later. Please hold on. I'll open for the question answers. At that time you can ask. Okay, yeah. So guys, now I'm talking about the next package. If you want to perform some mathematical operations on a data, and that too efficiently, right? In that case, guys, we use packages like NumPy, which is numerical Python. The short form is NumPy. Some people call it as a NumPy. So mathematical operations, all are there in the NumPy. Okay. Then, guys, you must be knowing how to use, the frameworks like scikit-learn. Okay, that is a machine learning framework. You must be knowing how to use keras or TensorFlow, or PyTorch, okay, for deep learning projects. Okay, so guys, let's say you are trying to solve a problem where the data is in the image format. So you have a huge collection of the images, or maybe you have a collection of videos. Okay, maybe you have a text data. Okay, in all those scenarios, guys, deep learning is a better approach to solve the problem rather than ML. Okay, so if you have a computer vision problem, if you have a historic data, let's say you want to predict the rainfall next year, for example. Okay, and that scenario, guys, DL, using the neural networks to solve such problems is always better than ML. So guys, scikit-learn, as I told you, is a machine learning framework, and keras, TensorFlow, PyTorch, these are the deep learning frameworks. But guys, hold on, this is not the end of the story. Okay, guys, once your project is done, right, the client or the users should have some user interface in place so that they can use your services, what you have, a kind of developed using data science mechanisms or data science strategies. So guys, creating the UI or creating a dashboard is also an important part. So you should have a framework, or you should have a knowledge how come you can develop a UI or a dashboard for that, right? So that is one thing. After this, guys, once your application is ready, once your project is ready, UI is also ready, guys, this is the time to put your project into the production. And for that purpose, guys, you should know how to host your project on the cloud. This cloud can be AWS, this can be Microsoft Azure, it can be anything, right? But you should know how to put that on the cloud, right? So this is kind of, a skill set you need, guys, right? You should have a knowledge of the Python. You should know how to use pandas, matplotlib, numpy, scikit-learn, keras, right? How do you? So there is a popular library to build the UI, guys, Dash in Python. Dash is a framework. Okay, so you should know that, and then how you can, use AWS or Azure. That is also something which you need to know, guys. This is the technical skill set you need to have. So guys, that is regarding the non-technical skills, guys. Okay, yeah, so someone is saying that Google Cloud as well. Yes, okay, yeah, you are right, Google Cloud as well. In this way you can have a lot of options, right? DigitalOcean is also there, right? You can have, IBM Watson is also there. They also have a cloud service, right? So there can be a lot of options available. Now, guys, regarding the non-technical skills, guys, can you answer this question? Non-technical skills are skills which are required everywhere, right? You should have a kind of a good communication, skills, right? And when I say communication, it's not about that you should know good English, right? No, whatever language you speak, you should be able to properly communicate, properly, explain the things, right? Your message should reach very clearly to the, next party. That is, the communication. Logical thinking. Obviously, Nitin, you are right? How to approach a problem. So problem solving skills, they are non-technical. So communication, right? Logical reasoning, how to approach a problem, how to break the problem into mini problems or smaller problems, right? That is the thing you have to understand. So these are all non-technical skills, guys. All non-technical skills. They are also equally important. It's not something that how to kind of work with a team. That is also a non-technical skills, but highly required. So all personal skills, right, are part of that. Now, guys, one of the major challenge, guys, I repeat, one of the major challenge faced by many aspiring data scientists, people who are kind of willing to get into this domain, is that data science is an ocean of information. You guys know that, right? If you go onto Google, right, and just write data science, you will have lot of resources available in the form of articles, in the form of blogs, in form of videos, in form of courses, in form of boot camps, in form of degrees, diplomas. There is an ocean of information. Okay, freely available, some courses paid available, all of the things are available, right? And you could easily lose the focus. You can easily lose the focus, guys, right? So my advice is that you need to stay focused. You need to kind of take a structured approach, right? You need to take a structured approach to learn this. So you have to have a good planning so that you can achieve your goals within the timelines you have set for yourself, guys. Okay. Now, guys, I think I have given you enough idea regarding the career prospects if you want to get into this domain. Okay. There are questions like, do you need master's or PhD degree to get into a data science domain? No, that's not required. Okay. There are certain jobs which require a doctorate degree or a PhD degree. That is another case. Okay. But in general, every company will hire a mix of people, right? They will hire freshers as well. They will hire experienced people as well. They will hire the people with the research mindset as well. So, all of the positions are available and there is a opportunity for everyone. Okay. Now, guys, I come to, guys, listen carefully. This is something important to know. Guys, in the beginning, I told you that this is a 3 days event, right? Today, we talk about the data science career, the job readiness, that how come you can prepare yourself in terms of skills. So that was the webinar, guys. Okay. The next 2 days, guys, we have a workshop where we talk about a case study, a project that we did. Okay. So how we approached that problem, how we designed it. Okay. What technology we used, how we developed it. Okay. So all those, how we, what challenges we got around that, right? So all of that story would be there in the next 2 days. So guys, if you want to join this workshop, I need your consent, guys. Okay. I repeat, guys, if you want to join this workshop, okay, and get your certificate for free, okay, I need your consent. And for that, guys, I will need your couple of details. Okay. So guys, for that purpose, we have, a Google form. Okay. You just need to fill that if you want to join the, next 2 days workshop, guys. Highly interactive, industry level project discussion with experts. Sylvester will also be there with me. Okay. The founder, the other co-founder. Okay. And guys, if you want to join that workshop for 2 days and get your free free certificate, this is the link, guys, Google form link you have to fill. Okay. Because while you registered for the webinar, we just took your name and numbers, right? But now in this form, we are going to collect more details so that we can use these details in your certificate as well, right? Because we will need to, kind of print them and use all details, right? So this form will require more details from your side. Okay. And guys, we take complete kind of a care regarding the privacy and all, right? So we don't share these information with any third party, guys, never. Okay. Now guys, that is the link I have given to you. You have to just click on it and fill that. Okay. So take 1 minute and 2 minutes and fill that, and then I will open up for the question answer sessions, guys. Okay. Then I will open up for the question answer. So I hope people have got this message very clearly, that if you want to join the next 2 days workshop for free and get your free certificate as well, guys, fill that form which I have shared with you. Okay. So Lakshya, can you please check that link if that is properly working? I just shared that. Guys, are you able to open that? Okay, a lot of people are saying yes. So Ramin, you might have some firewall issues or something at your end, and that's why it may be a problem for you. So just share me your details with me over the chat. I will share, I will ask my team to take care of that. Yamin. Ramin. Oh, I'm sorry. Yekta, do you get this? Yeah. Okay. Now, guys, we open up for the. So, guys, while you are filling this form to join the next 2 days workshop, okay, guys, now I open up for the question answer. So there was a question recently asked by Raj. Okay, just let me talk about that. Raj is saying that while learning data science, which foreign language should be prepared? So that is very difficult to answer, Raj. Okay. But if you ask me, Raj, I think my personal recommendation, obviously the English is obviously, the language, particularly in the India perspective, that is, but you already know that, right? So I'm not going to answer that. I think the next recommendation regarding the language, I think 2 languages from my side. The first recommendation is German, Raj. The first recommend, because Germany is a booming economy right now. There is a huge demand of the engineers, IT engineers in Germany right now. whether it's a digital marketing, whether it's a data science, whether it's machine learning, whether it's a web development, there is a huge demand of the people there. Okay, and if you know a good German, I think your chances are better than others. That is one thing. And I think after the German, I would recommend Japanese, although people say it's a little more difficult to learn, but Japanese is better in terms of even if you want to stay in India, because a lot of Japanese investment is coming and all of their documents are in Japanese. So, people who are bilingual, right? People who can understand English as well as Japanese, they are good for. So Japanese is also one of the recommendation. But as of now, I think if you are finding Japanese difficult, my vote is for German. Raj, because of the opportunities that country has. Okay, now Sita Raman is saying, can non-technical person like commerce background also have work experience, can get a job in data science? Sita Raman, if you are a commerce background, if you are from a commerce background, it's a good background for you to be into a data science, because if you can understand the finance terms, right, and commerce background people also has a good mathematic skills as well, so it's a good domain to get into, because data science, how you play with the data, how you crunch the numbers, this is something which you do in the commerce as well. Okay, so that is one thing. Okay, now to get into data science, okay, there can be two approaches for you, because you come from a non-technical background, so I'll share that approach as well. So Sitaraman, if you're from a non-tech background, right, there can be two things. So being a commerce background is not a problem for you, first of all, to get into data science. Now if you are from a non-technical domain, let's say you are from biology, you are from commerce, you are from life sciences, right, you are from pharmacy, that's okay. Your domain knowledge can be used by the company. Okay, so if you are from a non-tech domain, probably you can learn the tools which do not require any kind of a coding. So Microsoft Power BI is one tool. Tableau. So these are the analytics and visualization tools, Sitaraman. You can learn these tools. They do not require any kind of a coding. Okay, and then probably you get into your data science domain. Another approach can be you start learning the kind of a code, how to write the code and all that. So begin with Python coding, right, and then get into a kind of analytics domain, and then so that can be a little long, but this one is high paying. Okay, but here as well, it's a decent pay, okay, as compared to other sectors. So probably my recommendation is to go with this, Sitaraman, for you. And other than this, probably you can join some boot camp, some online course, some diploma course, or some master program, Sitaraman, that can add a value to your profile. Sitaraman, did I answer your question? I hope you get the point. So now Akdus Merchant is saying that in the Google form, sir, you are asking for college and other options, but I'm a school. Okay, what should I fill? So in the query section, you can fill that you are a school student, and you can leave that option, Merchant. Okay. Now, Rakshita is asking me that, can you please explain the difference between data science and big data? Okay. Rakshita, data science is a domain. So what all data science, as I explained you in a very simple terms, right? So that is your data science. Now within data science, you have to play with the data. But if your data is big in volume, So you may need a different strategy to handle it, to process it. Maybe you need a parallel computation, maybe you need a distributed computation. Then it becomes big data. So it's a data, okay? You have to process it. But because if it is a large in volume, you need to have a different strategy to handle it. Let me explain that. If you have just one or two guests at your home, right? Your mother can cook the food for them. That's it. But if you have hundreds of guests, what will happen? You need multiple people. You need a team to assist your mother, or maybe you have to, hire a catering or caterer, right? That is the difference between data and a big data. You have a data and then you have a big data as well. Both of the cases, data is there, you have to process it, you have to find the insights from that, but the strategy to handle, changes if it is large in the volume. Rakshita, that is the only case. So if you have a big data, you might need tools like a Spark or Databricks. These are the specific tools to handle the big data. Rakshita. So Sachin is saying, sir, my ambition is to be placed as technical support engineer at any company. How can data science can help me? I think in this scenario, Sachin, you can more focus on the analytics part, okay? Where you have a data and just you need to visualize it or find some patterns out of that data. That profile can really help you being in technical support, because if you understand these terms, these technologies, you can better support your client, or you can better support a business, process, right? And that way you can perform better in your role. So knowing, additional to your current working, role requirements, if you know how to interpret the data, how to understand the data, what tool or what technique can help to better understand that data, these skills can really help you to grow in your technical support role as well. Sachin. Data analyst is a part of data science domain only. As I said, Abhinath, data science means you have a domain knowledge as well. So it takes a couple of years of experience to become data science. So if you are a college fresher, you will always start as an analyst. Whatever role, whatever degree you may have, right? Whether you are a master's or BTech or BCA, it doesn't matter. You start with this role on business analyst. And then as you get more experience, you become data scientist. That is there. So Prashant is saying that how to make data science project for data science related profile job. We are going to talk about this in the workshop, Prashant. So please join that, because I think you will get much clarity around your question if you get involved in that process. That's why we have the workshop. Okay. Mangesh Gogare is our past student as well. So Mangesh is saying, I know Japanese language, I'm a mechanical engineering student. Can I able to work in data science domain? If I study data science, then what would be the scope as a bilingual engineer in Japan and India? There is a huge demand of the bilingual engineer, Mangesh, okay? And if you know a good Japanese, okay, please share your resume, okay? But you must be passed out, okay? Please share a resume with us. We will share your resume with one of our partner company. They are looking for people who know Japanese, Mangesh. Okay, so just share your resume, your profile on this email that you see on the screen right now, fosklabs@gmail.com. So we are working with a startup, which is a Japanese startup. Okay, they are working in AI domain, data science domain. We have, worked with them. We have supplied so many resources to them in the past. Okay, so they are looking for a person who knows Japanese as well. So if you are good fit for them, maybe it can be a good opportunity for you. Raman Yekta from Iran is saying that could you please talk a little bit about statistics knowledge as well? So being a data scientist, Raman, you have to have uh, a knowledge in mathematics. I will not say that you should be knowing a mathematics at PhD level or a doctorate level. I think high school or first year engineering, mathematics is good enough to get into this domain. Okay. If it is a very research oriented job, then obviously you should have some, good knowledge in mathematics, must be PhD or something like that. But in normal scenarios, right, in terms of solving the business problem for a client, not much. So statistics, I mean, like, the basics of the statistics, I would say, right? uh, Mean, median, mode, right? Central limit theorem, the hypothesis testing. These things you must be knowing, right? Correlation, covariance, right? These things, basic things, right? Otherwise, fine. So if you have a knowledge around these things, good to go. Ramen. Now, Raman Yekta from Iran is saying that what made India the second biggest hub of data science in world. I think this is rooted into a story which started maybe 30 years back when, a couple of Indian companies like Infosys, TCS, Wipro, right? They started as a outsourcing company, particularly to US, Raman, right? And from that, it has started into a right, getting into a right direction, right? And uh, knowing how to speak English is probably, one more advantage with Indian people, right? And that's why. And I think a timeline difference of 24 hours with the US, right? Because it's still the Indian IT economy, almost 60% projects come from US market only, around 60%, right? Now IT industry is diversing. They are moving to other spaces, other domain as well. Okay. And there is a kind of a large supply of the engineers, that is also, so, demographic dividend is also there, I mean, and that's why probably, uh, these positive points have resulted into that now a new wave where, data science, AI, ML would be into a mainstream. I think, there is a kind of, a lot of opportunities, right? Almost every foreign company is investing in India. They are setting up their offices here, right? And because of the population also, there is so much of a data being generated, right? Social media and all that, right? Facebook and YouTube, these companies are earning billions of money from Indian people. Billions of money. They are earning too much. Although they are giving free accounts, but they are earning too much of money, from India. Yeah, I mean. Pavan is saying that I'm a student in BTech third year. I'm aware of Python language. I want to become a data scientist. So my question is, in which concept should I become perfect? As you said, you should do more projects, but I'm stuck with the question, which project I should, so that project leads toward my career. This is the question, Pavan, from so many people, that you are saying that you should work on the projects, but they have no idea what projects we should do. They have no idea, clear cut, they have no idea. So I think that's why, to answer these kind of questions, we have designed this workshop, the coming 2 days workshop, Pavan. So I would recommend that you should join that. And during that discussion, definitely I'm going to answer this, that how you should look for the projects. That's a very common question among the people who are, beginner or who are aspirant for that. That where to look for the projects. I will share that with you. Okay. So Raman is saying, last question, how high is it recommended to learn data engineering technologies like data pipelines and warehouses for a data scientist? Uh, if you are a data scientist already, Raman, you are already on a high salary, then compared with a data engineering, person. Okay. So if you are a data engineering person already, to get more growth, become a data scientist, Raman. So Sachin is saying, thanks, sir. I got the clarity on it. Okay. Raj is saying, sir, if my math is not much good, but I can code, should I go for data scientist? Yes, you can be a very good data analyst, Raj, and you can really take the advantage of, high demand in this domain. As I said, every job, every data science job, every data analyst job does not require a high degree of mathematics, Raj. Okay. Karan is saying, I have 11 years of experience in marketing research and digital marketing. After completing data science course, what would be an ideal position I would get? My background is BSc microbiology. So I think as of now, what job you are doing, your college degree is not going to play any role, right? Because you are into marketing research and digital marketing. So if you want to get into a data science, your domain knowledge of marketing research and digital marketing will play a good role. Okay. In the begin with, or to get an entry, you might have to accept an offer with a lower salary, but very soon you are going to fill that gap, or because there would be a compounding effect, Karan, in time to come, right? So even if you join with the same salary or a lower salary because you are switching a domain, right? You can negotiate with these people that you already have a domain expertise in research and digital marketing, right? There you can negotiate with the people, but definitely they can take the advantage of your profile, right? Just develop, your some coding capabilities either, or maybe start learning Power BI or Tableau kind of tools. BSc microbiology can later help you if you get in some kind of a company which is more related to this background. Maybe they are into pharmacy, maybe doing some clinical trials or something like that. At that point, it can help you. But as of now, I think more helpful things would be your current role, like marketing research and digital marketing. So Merchant is saying that why Japanese is necessary there. In Japan, at this, all companies, I have been in Japan, I have worked there, I've worked with, a lot of Japanese people. They do everything in Japanese, actually. They have a, uh, kind of very few people who can speak English. There are only couple of companies nowadays, willing to hire only the people who know English only, but very few, only 1 or 2% companies. Still, they look Japanese as primary requirement to hire the people, whether you are a Japanese person or a non-Japanese person. Hiral Patel is saying that in India, which city is best for data science career? Bangalore, followed by Pune, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Delhi. As of now, Bangalore to go with. Right. Merchant is saying that I am currently in class 12 from India. I want to pursue data science as my career. Can you please tell me, as of now, just focus on your Python skills, nothing else. Just spend 1 year or 6 months on writing the Python code. Just get into that practice. That's it. And then after that, you will have more opportunities. Then I think you would be in a better position to understand what path to take. As of now, just focus on Python learning. That's it, Merchant. That is only for you. Don't think beyond that as of now. Okay. Abhinath is saying that I have done HR analysis and salary prediction. So is it okay to mention that in my resume? Yes, definitely you should do that, but you should have a clear understanding of what code you have written. That should be available on the GitHub. And only this project will not be a good idea. I think, add few more projects, Abhinath. Okay. Pavan is saying, who are data analysts or data scientists? Are they same or different? As I said, data scientist is a person who can write code, who has a technical skill, but knows the domain as well. Data scientist is a person who has the technical skills, write the code, but has no domain knowledge. He does not know how the insurance sector works in India, right? But data scientist who is working in that domain will know that. So that he and she has advantage, Pawan, right? To understand the business problems in a better way, to design the solution in a better way, right? That is the case. Is that clear, guys? So now, guys, one last announcement. As I said in the beginning, the next 2 days during the workshop, we are going to talk about a case study, right? We recently completed. Okay. And, so guys, why I'm focused on and how come we can guide you in a better way? Because as I said, Forsk has two businesses. We are into, a consultation and development, and we have academy as well. So we know what kind of people are hired by the industry, right? What preparation is required, right? Because we have academy, we run a couple of skill programs as well. So guys, that's why we have designed this workshop, right? Where we focus that how you need to approach to a problem, right? How come you can make a design around a problem, how you need to implement it, how can you can put that into a computer science into a production over the cloud, right? That is the case. So guys, don't miss that workshop to come. It would be a very interesting and very helpful for you guys. So guys, if you have not if you are interested and not filled the form yet, this is the link, guys, just fill it. Okay, if you are interested to join the coming workshop and get your certificate for free, okay, that is there. Now merchant is saying, yes sir, we have Python and computer science subject. Yes, being a CBSE student, merchant, right, you can focus on Python. That is the only thing you should do right now. Forget about data science, forget about anything else. Just work on your Python skills. Okay. Now Jerome Prakash is saying, what is the timing tomorrow? Guys, timing remains the same, 7:30 to start. The start time remains the same, 7:30, guys. Now Raj is saying, is there any quiz or exam for certification? No, you just need to attend regularly. Okay, that is the you need to put your time. That is the only requirement, Raj. Okay, there is no exit test or a quiz for that. You have to have be present there in the workshop both days, Raj. So guys, that's it from my side. Guys, yeah, Raj, you can. Guys, you can add your certificate in your resume very well, no issues. We will generate a PDF and you can have it. So guys, that's it from my side. I would like to take a feedback from you guys. Okay, there are around 60 people as of now staying in this room. Guys, I want to take a feedback from you guys. How did you find this webinar for today? Was it a kind of helpful for you, right? Any feedback, guys? Okay, any feedback from your side? We are willing to hear from you. How did you find this program, guys? So Hiral Patel is saying very helpful. Merchant is saying a lot of informative, Mohammed Amir is saying that I found from Instagram. That's good. Amir, I'm just asking that what is your feedback for this webinar that you have attended right now? Was it valuable for you? Was like, is a good time utilization at your end? I'm asking for that feedback. Okay. Vaishnavi is saying very interesting and informative, sir. Sagar says, yes, sir, it cleared my way. Vaibhav Thakur is saying very helpful. Sagar is saying towards my future. Naveen, as a mechanical student, how can I choose my career as a data scientist? So Naveen, if as I said, mechanical being a mechanical student, if you have an interest in the coding, you can go this way, start learning Python first, and then after that you can learn the other packages and all that. But if you have no interest in coding and still you want to go into a data science domain, these two tools, Power BI or Tableau, you can learn these and do the projects using them. Then I think it would be a good preparation at your end. Naveen. Sitaraman says it is very helpful and informative. Ras says I got your information on the Instagram, very informative. Okay. Mohammed Amir says, super sir, it would be helpful for my future. Naveen says very informative and helpful, thank you. Rakshita, very helpful and interactive session. Snehal says, I get more useful information. Okay. Jaron Prakash, only masters in Python can do jobs in in machine learning. Jerome, as of now, this is kind of a true statement. Jerome, you should be good in Python. Ayush is saying, sir, I'm commerce plus informative practice background. How to utilize? You are in a very good field, Ayush. Just prepare your Python programming skills, and then you would be in a very good position to, get into this domain, Ayush. Nitin Krishnan is saying, my school friend referred me about this, and it's very useful, very informative. Thank you, sir. Who referred this? Can you name that, Nitin, to us? Inbata Milan saying a very helpful webinar, crystal clear about topics. Thank you so much, sir. Mohammed Amir says, okay, Mohammed, I think you have already filled the form as well, so we will contact you there. Okay. Raman Yekta says, thanks, it was great. Okay, Kailas. Okay, Nitin says Kailas. Okay, fine. Marchand says, sir, what should I do after school for data science? Marchand, पहले Python सीख ले भाई, उसके बाद फिर से सवाल पूछना, मैं जवाब दूंगा. मैं अभी बताना नहीं चाहता कि तुम्हें आगे क्या करना चाहिए. राइट, बहुत एनर्जी है तुम्हें, तुम बहुत आगे जाओगे, लेकिन अभी just focus on Python. That's it for you. Okay? और कुछ नहीं करना है. Otherwise, you will get too many things on your plate and you spoil everything. Okay? Jerome says, will you do any other workshop after this? We keep on doing these workshops, Jerome, on different topics, on different domain. Okay. So just follow us on the Instagram. You will get the details there. Okay. Akash Abu says, interesting and helpful webinar. Thank you, sir. Merchant, you can follow us on the Instagram, right? There you will get all the updates. Don't worry. Karan says, nice session. I liked it. Got clear on concepts like ML, AI, and DL. And thank you for taking up everyone's question, answering them with the patience. Welcome, Karan. Hema Varnasha says, thank you so much. This informative webinar, sir. Now I have a clear idea about data science. It was an amazing webinar for sure. Welcome. Ruchi says, do we need to fill any form for certificate? No. I think the form that I have recently shared with you, the link, you just need to fill that, Ruchi. The workshop form. Okay. We will use that, those details to, get your certificate, Ruchi. Ramesh says, really useful and very interesting. Thank you, sir. Okay. So I think we are done, guys. Okay. Any other question? Whosoever is looking to ask the question, guys, I'm still there. Okay. So we'll wait 2 more minutes. Keshav Prasad Sukla saying, thank you so much, sir. Welcome, Keshav. Welcome, Merchant. So guys, that's it from my side, from our side, and see you guys tomorrow in the workshop. Okay. And a lot of interesting stuff is coming up. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Take care and good night. Yeah, Sachin, thank you. Karan, Mohammed. Mohammed, tomorrow's workshop time is same, 7:30 p.m. IST. Bye-bye, guys. Good night. I'm closing now.